Okay, we'll call the Board of Supervisors meeting of Thursday, February 19th to order. It's 3:01, and let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, let the record show all members are present. Bob, Doug, Carol, and Ed. Flavia is not here today. Approval of final agenda. Any changes, additions, or corrections to the agenda?
I have none.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Local achievements. We have this is our initial Local Achievements Award, and I would like to welcome on behalf of the Gateway Services District to the board, Sephora Van Call and your family.
All right.
Read that and then we'll take
I'll
pictures.
read this for the record. On behalf of Gateway Services Community Development District Board, I don't know why I even try this. We proudly recognize Sephora Van Call for consistently embodying the spirit of altruism through her genuine care and dedication to both students and staff. She continually seeks opportunities to serve others, whether assisting with bulletin boards, supporting students during challenging moments, helping with event setups, or creating thoughtful, themed incentives that uplift and encourage those who may be struggling. Her actions reflect the promise of strong minds, good hearts, and exemplify the values of purpose, passion, integrity, and grit, making her a true example of what it means to be a giver within the community. Representing Gateway Charter 5th grade, Sephora Van Call.
Sorry, Doug. Let me get out of this picture. You can go front.
You guys, Laura.
You guys may have to scooch that way.
The initial.
To your left.
Winner.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, big smiles. One more. All right, good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Could you email that to Mr. Thank you all.
Great.
We should be doing it regularly.
That's fun. That's fun stuff.
Might add, we did have another one, but we'll do that at the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
How often are we doing these?
Every meeting.
So we're recognizing someone.
I know.
Well, as long as they suggest, we've got
Yeah,
4
so we're gonna do
schools.
it every meeting. I think it's fantastic.
4 schools, and they're calling in as to whether they
Taking
have somebody or
turns.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
What could be better? Reinforcing.
Public comment. Do we have any?
Yeah, nobody.
This is 2 meetings in a row. What's going on?
Don't ask.
Don't ask.
Keep going.
Running right along. Advisory Committee items and reports. Pelican Reserve Advisory Committee monthly report. Anybody want to offer anything on that? Nothing?
Move to receive the monthly report of the Pelican Preserve Advisory Committee.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pelican Reserve Emergency Gate Procedures. That was some interesting reading. Is that something that we can do anything with unless we go to Lee County? Because we got a development order issue there on that.
And in City of Fort Myers, there's 2.
2.
Yes.
And both of them were either one, it was of an emergency nature declared for like a natural
both.
disaster,
Yes. It
or
doesn't
something else
specify
that.
natural. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was,
there were two items that I think.
Yes.
it was up
Okay.
to the district's good discretion and good faith as
To
to what
define
constitutes
Right.
emergency.
My point is, we're continuing with that, nothing's changed
No.
relative to that.
Correct.
Yeah,
They wanted where this stemmed from the garbage truck fire incident, and what do we consider? Because we know hurricane emergency.
Do we
But
have
we
a,
didn't have any, this is supposed to help lay out some of the parameters for what is considered an emergency, and who determines if it's an
That's
emergency.
what I was gonna ask.
The chain of command for who to
do
call,
we
who
have a chain of
decide,
command?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then that chain of command is recognized by us such that if that person says that it's an issue,
It's not a one-person decision, it's a group. That way they're not putting it all on one person. So it's a representative from Pelican and from the
Oh, I thought we
district.
we don't have
and
just
Chelsea.
one person that we're hanging our hat on that's on vacation.
It's me.
No, I'm, on their side.
Oh, no. I
That would
mean,
call in and
emergency's
say, hey, we've got a
We have an
problem.
event,
Yeah.
and then they'll determine.
Okay.
And then
Is
we
there-
have a trickle down here. If she's not there, I mean, it's me, then it would be
Okay, is there a
Paul,
motion
then,
to
you know,
approve
so-
the
Yeah, and just
emergency
for-
gate
I-
procedures?
When I looked at that, I looked at it in conjunction with, I went back and looked at the DRI development order and the agreements to make sure it was consistent with everything and not conflict with anything.
And it was.
Yes, it's fine, yep.
I think there were a couple of changes that, I don't know if they
Minor
got made
changes, yeah.
before this got put in. I didn't have a chance to look at the version of the board. They had just asked at PPAC, because it talked about resident egress, and there was discussion about, well, what about, there was a moving truck, and are they stuck in the community then because they're not a resident? So they were just gonna remove the word resident and just make it say egress.
Okay.
So there were some nits, but otherwise, the substantially, but minus a few words like that, it's.
It's more so communication between us and the.
But it's defined is my
community.
point.
Yes.
Okay.
Who do you
Is there
tell
a
if
motion
something's
to
going
approve
on?
that gate procedures?
Earl made it, and I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Last item, Pelican Preserve Advisory Committee, PPCA member appointments. I believe we had two. We had a continuation on one and a new appointment on the other.
Correct.
And your new
How on
appointment is
earth can
present.
you take and be gone from ponds? You are Mr. Pond.
Be the pond liaison.
Staff are already been trained for 4 or 5 years.
He'll be the new
They will be
liaison.
better off without me.
I don't, that I don't,
Doug's been
that I
all
don't
wet.
believe.
He's been all wet for years.
He's,
I will be the interface from PPAC to ponds.
He'll be the
and
new
I'll
liaison,
also be on the
yeah.
ponds, the bigger group, I just won't have a voting position. We
Is
have
there-
30 people on the thing, the board's a smaller number.
is there a motion to approve those two
I'll make
appointments,
that
the
motion.
reappointment and the new appointment?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Thank
Thanks,
you.
Doug.
Thank
So
you.
does that mean, Dougie, that there's an opening for you to maybe take?
Yeah.
Yes, so we'll have to post the.
No. I don't mean on the, I mean, we could surely use you on the larger gateway side of the house. Give you a week, and if you, when you're
Fill up
bored,
your board time, so you're not bored.
yeah. If you, when you're not,
That's all one step at a time.
I'll have our people get in touch with your people, and we'll see how that
My
works
people will
out.
call your people.
Yeah, all right.
Who are your people?
His wife.
Our people.
People, do you have people?
We people.
Oh, you know. I don't think we had anything, did we?
Nope.
Okay, no.
No.
Consent agenda items. Anybody have anything on A, B, or C?
I do not, I peruse
I move on consent agenda items A,
A, B, and C,
C.
9A, B, and C.
9A, B, and C.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? One question I had on that was, why is there only like two people on mulch? Is there, I thought that would be a lot more,
We put it
Play
out,
of that.
we sent it out to like 5 or 6 different vendors, and that's the only ones who submitted back by the time frame that we put.
It'll take them 2 months, but they'll get,
I'm sorry?
it'll take them 2 months, but it's the cheapest, you know?
Yeah, that's happened with other clients of mine also on mulch bids, the straw, pine straw mulch bids, they just don't get that many.
We've learned our lesson in Gateway Greens that pine straw don't get it.
No,
That stuff ends up in the streets, it ends up all over the
blows
place.
all over the place.
And your golf ball lands in it, you sure as hell don't want to have that happen.
No, mine stays in the fairway.
Land in the fairway.
I'm not that good. Going on, district engineers,
Stephen is not on,
Eric and
but
Mason are
Eric
both there.
and Mason are here to present. So Mason, you want to lead it off?
Yeah, no problem. Mason Lundquist, engineer with Tetra Tech. I'll kind of go through mine and Stevens, and then I'll hand it off to Eric.
Turn this down.
So the first project, the irrigation pump station generator, we're waiting on the county to close out the permit. Irrigation and force main improvements, we are still awaiting funding. Chelsea and I worked on the RFI from
Need it bigger.
HMGP. Lower Hawthorne Well, That one's also, we're waiting for the county to close out the permit. FY25 Lake Bank construction. An NTP was just issued to Met Tower to start on Lake 75 and 81 in Daniels Preserve. And they're going to start next week. And then the HMGP Lake Bank projects for the 21 lakes, the 30% plans were submitted to Chelsea, and then I'm going to upload that to the CDBG website and submit that to HMGP as well for a progress report.
Just really quick, on those, the lake banks, do we need to adjust those dates?
No, because that's when
We,
their task authorization was approved. You mean the end dates, the anticipated completion dates? Yeah, Tetra Tech has to do that.
yes. So we got held back a little bit, but we're starting to chug on those plans. So Pelican Preserve Pond 43 MRI started this week. We're reviewing submittals, and they're going to get going on that. And then the Pelican Preserve Boulevard Mill and Overlay project, we are targeting the end of this month for the bid package. And then we go on to the CCTV sewer project. We just wrapped up that final report.
That
I
will be
believe.
included in the utilities monthly report.
So
Okay.
does that date need to be updated as well?
Yeah.
Are we not updating dates anymore, or we just oversight because Steven's not here?
Stephen was out sick, so I'm just gonna attribute it to.
Could you guys
oversight.
just make sure that we're updating the dates, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
CCTV storm. The Atlantic Pipe Services is about 50% complete, and they're still working out in Stony Brook. And then
Those are ones that need to be
GIS
updated
support.
also.
I will talk with Steven about the dates. GIS support services, that's an ongoing effort with staff to update the GIS. Daniels Parkway Apartments, we have a new submittal in review. And then the last one I got is the Garrett FM. We have the turnover in process.
Elson, can we have,
We have that on the agenda for today, I believe.
can we just have Steven in the next update for the GIS? Can we have an update on what has been done? So updating the GIS is a very generic.
Never ending.
Is it very generic, but I'd love to know that we've tackled this, we've tackled this, we've
So
tackled this.
They've tackled all of the utility side of things. As the stormwater and the sewer stuff has come in, they've incorporated that. We've had some hiccups with updating those assets because it talks to Cartograph, which is our quest for action side of things. We're almost done with the public works side of things. I know we were going back and forth with Passarella there for a little bit on getting the Pelican items incorporated. So right now, they're going to start to go into reviewing plats and incorporating all of the easements as part of our GIS system.
And this might be a dumb question, but does the board have access to the GIS system?
No.
You do to Pelican. Pelican is open
On
to the public.
Passarella's website, you do. Our intent is to get there, to have a public facing side of things, because it's not for public consumption, our utility lines.
We're not.
You won't get water and gas and things like that, but in Pelican, you can see all the piping and
But I would argue that the board's not public.
No, the board, as a supervisor, you're entitled to view those. That's correct. As well as, there's other components in GIS too, other plans and specs like the sports complex, recreation complex. Those facilities are confidential and exempt under Florida statute because of after 9/11.
Does the GIS
So the board
require,
members can have access to those plans.
does the GIS system require username and password, or is it a generic?
No,
No, password.
It is password
I mean,
protected.
well,
And it's on its own.
individual?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
would
you would
we
have
be
to create username and passwords for all of us.
Yes, and we pay, I don't believe we have a blanket. We only have enough for the handful of people that are touching it right now.
And they're not cheap.
Yeah.
I know they're not, gee.
So our intent is to have a public facing one albeit if it's the board level or if it's the general public, to have those layers. But right now, we're just focusing on getting all the assets in.
So
And it wouldn't be a bad idea to get an overview of where we are
Yeah. We can
and let
have
us see some examples,
we can have-
because there's so much data there, it'll blow you away.
just today, having access to Billy came over and met with me, having access to as-bills on water locations at the intersection of Callaway or Commerce Lakes and West Lakes.
Yep.
We got pipes and valves. We have no idea what the hell, where they're going. Trying to figure out if we had as-bills, we'd be able to tell that real quick.
So that's the next step, because that is time consuming, is to pull all of those as-bills to look at the
So
plats
we
and
need-
maps.
Yeah, if we needed to see something, like I'm kind of looking at Bob and Ed, what's up myself. But if we needed to see something, we would just get with staff and they would
What we do
open it
now.
up. That's what you guys do today?
Yep,
Okay, all
send
right.
us an email, send me an email, and I can get that. I can either, if Austin can't pull it, we can get Tetra Tech to pull it. But understand, like, this stuff is in flux right now, so.
And it's going into the rabbit hole, Doug. There is so much in there to see. It really is. I had one task item. As I understand it, you have been issued a task authorization for the tree line west side sidewalk.
Nope, not yet.
Nope.
Oh, I'm
Coming to
sorry.
you next meeting.
Excuse me. I thought we already
They
voted on that.
they drafted it, and I got it back
Okay.
yesterday, but it's coming in front of you
Okay.
guys at the next meeting. As well as this one right here in front of the soccer complex along Griffin.
Thank you.
That would go to Timberwood Preserve.
All right. I don't see very many Pelican things on there, so I look.
Any-
Well, that's not a Pelican thing.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Anything else? We switching over to Eric?
Yep. Mason, you good?
Thanks, Mason.
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks, guys. Yep, all
Thank
Eric
you.
now.
All right, good afternoon. The Sherman Soccer Complex, we just got requests for additional information letters last week from both Lee County and the South Florida Water Management District. So we're engaged in responding to those issues, working through some items to get resubmitted in the next 30 days. The Commons Park, I'm sorry, I skipped over the Public Works Building relocation site plan. That is submitted to Lee County and South Florida Water Management District. We should have an RAI from the district, I think, in 2 weeks' time. And the county should be responding within the next 25 days or so. So we're on hold until we hear back from the agencies on those permits. The Gateway Commons Park is under construction and on schedule for substantial completion on August 5th. You've probably seen some of the progress as you drive by. You can see that the roof trusses and decking have started on the admin building. Mechanical and electrical are doing the interior work and framing out the inside of that building. The contractor, OAK, has acquired all permits for all buildings and sports fields. I think the only permit we have outstanding at this point is a generator permit from DEP. So things are moving on that project as well. Any questions on those 3 projects?
Any unanticipated change orders?
Yes. They'll be forthcoming.
Not looking forward to a surprise. What are these now?
We've had some going through, and Eric, you can probably explain, but just going through and from what was designed, like architectural driven, owner driven change orders. Perfect example is the stucco or the whatever this is called,
Drywall?
drywall. Original finish was like a low grade, like not nice full finish. It would just cover the lines, and what we're proposing is going to the level 5 finish, which would be this, having a nice finish. So little things like that have added up. We had the change of storm
This is a
drains.
nice finish.
Well, it's better than just like the
knockdown.
plain.
Skim coat.
As opposed to just flat drywall, this is a knockdown.
Probably more like a skim coat, probably, is what you're
Yeah,
talking about
so
before.
there's that.
You don't see the tape on the wall on the cracks.
We hide that. So we had during original planning, we were gonna have the rubber surface at the playground. Well, we already paid for the engineered wood fibered, so we had to put some additional drains in that area to handle the drainage. Eric, what else am I missing?
The
So
hand
we're
dryers,
doing wood mulch as opposed to,
The very expensive rubber mulch that would be poured in place, yes.
oh,
Because,
that's what we're doing. Okay. I thought you were
yeah,
going in reverse. Okay.
no.
Okay.
yeah, I know we
Anything
had
else,
it
Eric?
in the hand dryers, but I think that was already approved, was it not?
Yep, so we had some hand dryers. We did utilize the contingency, which we had $50,000 in contingency to cover some of these, like the shower pan didn't fit, so we had to find an alternative shower pan. So just things that we wouldn't have caught on the design side that a contractor knows the in and outs, so.
And I know this is probably late, and I'm hoping we've already considered it, but one of the big lessons that we've learned over the years when it comes to public-facing bathrooms, to make sure you do your due diligence and put, very sturdy stalls and, dryers and that type of stuff, or else you'll just replacing those things. So,
And OAK has been great about, saying, hey, this isn't typical, this is not industry standard, the drywall being a perfect example. Hey, this is gonna be your main building, your boardroom, you don't wanna have it look
right.
not the premier community of choice that we are.
Look like a broom closet.
Exactly.
Anything else, Eric?
That's it for me.
All right. Nothing else?
Thank you all.
All right,
Thank you.
Great evening.
Administrative agenda items, Echelon Garrett Utilities
Sentosa.
Conveyance.
Echelon, formerly known as Garrett, formerly known as
Sentosa.
Sentosa, formerly known as Alta. Ultimately, we've been working, the developer is here. We have been working diligently with them, and they have a lot of patience with us with all of the forms and documents, but punch list walkthrough was done, punch list was complete. There's just one caveat uniqueness to this project that we're recommending, conveyance of the assets. Typically, when we've done this in the past, when we accept those assets, we reduce the bond to 10% and put it into a warranty period. Because they are biting at the bit to get those buildings open, and they have transitioned to a phasing plan, so they're going to get their certificate of occupancy on 2 buildings, and then they'll stagger it the rest of the way. The developer is willing to keep the full bond on file with the district and not start the warranty period or the maintenance period until they get their final closeout of the development order. Obviously, we're still going to have inspectors on site making sure that there's any issues, and they have vocalized to us that if anything comes up, they will address it. So with that, I know Tetra Tech, you saw in here, they were recommending approval. Conditional approval, Tony, if you
Yeah,
want.
and to follow up with what Chelsea was saying about the warranties, the bill of sale in the book is not the most recent iteration of the bill of sale, which we had some conversations. The warranty period starts at the time, it's 12 months from the time that Lee County does its development order closeout, which is anticipated to be, I think, end of June of this year. So that was one of their concessions that they discussed with.
In essence, that's the extension.
Correct, as well as the additional bond. And so we're getting a rider on the bond and also adding Echelon, because before we had Garrett Construction, I was just talking to Carl, who's the engineer, about that. And so working with legal engineering, and it's been a good relationship working with them, good professional.
Excellent.
Yeah, we disagree on things, but then we agree on things. We've come to consensus on the documents. And again, that's going to be in the bill of sale. The warranty typically is 12 months from the date of acceptance, but this is 12 months from the project closeout of the DO with Lee County. So it's going to be an extra 4 months, basically. And then the bond stays in place until that time at the full amount. Then it gets reduced to the 10%.
Obviously, we have the fence around it right now for construction, but will it be the property fenced?
You want to come up here, Carl, to this?
Tell us who you are. Not that I don't know who you are.
Hi, Carl Stout, Director of Civil Engineering for the Garrett Companies. So we'll phase this out. We're going to have the clubhouse first, and then the fence will be around the clubhouse, keeping all the community out of the active construction.
So they'll have a clicker or something to get in?
No, because That'll be open.
So it'll be open, okay.
Yeah, that part will be open.
The site itself is not.
The site won't be, it's not a fenced community.
It's not gated.
No, it's not a gated community.
Okay, so ingress and egress can be either to Gateway Boulevard or to Commerce Lakes, either or.
Well, Gateway Boulevard, Commerce Lakes down the road. That's still going to be somewhat, for fire access, it'll be the whole time. But for residents and community, they'll only be able to
Almost
get.
totally Gateway Boulevard.
I'm sorry?
Almost totally Gateway Boulevard for residents.
Right.
During the phasing.
During the phasing.
And then it'll open up and it'll be both.
Yeah, and then one other component that's referenced into one of the documents, but the document's not in here, so hold harmless and indemnification. Again, during that same period, it's referenced in the conditional approval, but it's a separate agreement, again, to protect the district's assets while they're doing the construction work on the other buildings. And that was, Chelsea had that concept and idea, and they agreed to it.
Yeah, Carol.
So are we releasing the money today, or are we releasing it in June?
We're releasing it, well, we're reducing it
Reducing it in June.
Reducing it,
at the time of the development order closeout. So that could be.
June
he's
or
saying
later.
June or later,
Yeah,
yes.
right now, what they're also
We
doing.
didn't put a time to it,
so why do we need to vote on this today?
because we're accepting
Don't we
the,
want to make sure everything is done and then vote
in
on it?
order for them to get their certificate of occupancy, we have to control and maintain those utility lines. And so that's why they want to convey it to us. So that way,
Staggered development.
yeah.
Okay.
In other words, what Chelsea's indicated that I think the district engineer and staff did the punch list and a walkthrough of the utility facilities, and it's acceptable to the district, consistent with the plans that were approved. And the developer is also going to increase the bond to a greater amount than was originally posted, I believe. In fact, and add Echelon, the owner, as another principal on the bond. And so that's, and the warranty is longer than typical, again, because the warranty period doesn't start until the project development order closeout from Lee County.
Ultimately,
I move to approve.
Let's cut to the chase.
I'm done, we're done.
I'll second.
So there's a motion to, what is the actual motion that we're looking for to,
I would say to accept the utility facilities conveyance and utilities facilities documents, subject to the final review and approval by district manager, district engineer, and district council.
That's what I heard Carol
is that your
say.
motion?
Oh, yeah, that was it.
I thought it
Yeah,
was.
absolutely. I heard me say it.
Chelsea, did I capture it all?
He's been practicing it. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Nice meeting you.
all right.
Girl Scout Lane Lift Station easement extension.
So following back up on this, you guys discussed this at the last meeting. Had a follow-up meeting with the church, and their stance was basically make them an offer for whatever we would be willing to pay for that easement. And I said, I don't have that authority to make an offer. I said, but don't be surprised if it's zero. So I'm coming back to you. In the meantime, we are working to see if we can rework the layout of the existing area of this lift station. Obviously, we have a Thompson pump that we have on order. We'd like to get in here. This is one of our, right next to Stony Brook is the second biggest odor issue station, but as well as Thompson pump. To know if if you would entertain offering them a dollar value for the easement space that they are.
So the
we're asking.
church is trying to monetize our ability to improve utilities within our community. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, to put it a different way, we're asking somebody to grant an easement that they own land on. So I can go both ways on it. Talking to Billy this morning, he was giving me the idea that perhaps
Wait, who's Billy?
Billy Shaw.
Our
utilities.
Okay.
I got the impression that we might have a solution that doesn't even require it. So, but if we went back the other way, my thing would be is if we had to condemn for an easement, what are we going to pay for the condemnation? Then, talking again to Billy this morning, there were things that were collateral to this that I wasn't all aware of, and that is the fact that they were using some of our power to energize a light and maybe a couple of other things. So what I'm trying to come up with is when we do a add and subtract of the pluses and the minuses, what's the offer? Are we talking about $2,000? Are we talking about $3,000? Are we talking about
$10.
What? But I have a problem when we have an easement, we charge people $500 to use it. I find a little problem with parity there. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, $500.
We want it in, but we don't want it out.
$500. That's what we get, that's what we give.
Okay,
That-
so-
That's one, that one could be what it could be, come out to be.
In the background here, the very last sentence, last two sentences says, "The basis for the church's claim is that this is a fair exchange for a grant of easement that the previous district manager discussed granting the church some form of compensation in exchange for an extension to the easement in January of 2020." Could someone fill me in on the history of this?
Keep scrolling.
The letter is in.
The letter's in there.
The
from
letter's in the file.
My predecessor.
Oh.
They
The-
approached.
The letter is
Interesting.
interesting at best.
Ultimately, this same concept, they approached the church back in the day, seeking an easement
Or,
to expand our existing easement so we could put additional
That letter there.
equipment.
okay,
This
And-
muddies the deal as far as I'm concerned. But
So ultimately, his point was, look, you guys came to, you guys being Gateway, you came to us back in 2020. We're not trying to make a buck on this. We're just trying to follow up with that initial conversation. So if I told him, I said, I can't make the number. I can't decide the number. If you don't want to,
but a number wasn't offered. It was just implied.
yes.
And if it was, it wasn't authorized by the board. The board
Correct.
knew nothing about it.
So-
So we're talking about 6+ years ago. So
Again, we don't have to make a decision today. I told him I would bring it back in front of you all.
I'd like to have somebody just do the math of what would be a fair balancing act, because if you, let's say it's $10 a month for electricity, $10 a month for 120 for 5 years, I mean, what are we talking about?
I mentioned that to the gentleman, and it was kind of a,
Brush off.
yeah.
okay, well,
So do you
Wait,
have
Well,
a,
doesn't
let's-
stop us
here's
from
what-
doing the calculation.
look, let's not push it around anymore. Let's come up with a number, and then effective immediately, we will, if we're supplying power, we will terminate that or set up a meter or whatever else, so we keep things clean. And I mean, I think we all have experience with easement costs. We just need to come up with a number.
well, we
I mean,
haven't,
honestly, I don't think that the 10,000 is out of the question.
I think that number's ridiculous, but,
I do too.
I mean,
No.
personally,
I mean, many times you go and you ask for an easement, you're expected to pay for it.
so one of the alternatives is we might be able to find a way to finagle within our existing area. So I can tell you from a staff recommendation, I wouldn't recommend the 10,000. We haven't paid, you're setting precedents, and we ask for easements all the time from everybody else. They are benefiting from this, what we're proposing, because of the equipment that we're proposing to put in there, probably more so than anybody, especially if we put a bigger odor control unit in.
Have they ever complained about the odor?
In the past, they have, and I think that's what prompted this back in 2020. But ultimately, if you want to kick the can or if you want to throw a number, I can report back.
but you're saying we don't have to make that decision right now because there is another option. So I think I'm sorry, then my position is, let's vet the existing option out before we have to, because coming up with a number doesn't mean anything if we have an alternate approach that ends up being viable.
Okay.
Yeah?
Why don't we just postpone it for a month? And let them,
For staff to do diligence, continue due diligence.
Yeah, I like the $500. If we charge that, we give that.
Or what's the status of the work that Austin's doing? Will it be
Well-
done quickly to have it at the next meeting?
Yeah, we could probably, I don't know about the next meeting, maybe the second meeting in March, but,
a month.
because I think it's going to take some engineering. But ultimately, if we get the Thompson pump in, we'll just put it to the next prioritized location.
So I'm trying to
Move
figure
to
out.
table this to the second meeting in March,
The 19th.
on that.
I'll second it.
whatever day that
Okay,
is.
discussion, one thing, is that, did we get a calculation of what the square footage of the easement was?
Yeah, it's
How
a-
many
It's
square feet?
487 square feet.
How much?
487, it's in the.
487?
Yeah, it's in the
So that's
sketch.
how he got his 20 and 10,000. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, motion on the board in a second to defer this to the second meeting in March. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Appointment of designee artwork selection. Boy, this, thought I was in New York at the Kennedy Center or something. What are we doing here?
So ultimately, we mentioned about having artwork and getting community involvement. We put out some feelers to the community and see if they had any artwork that they wanted to submit that we could display in our admin building once it does, we get the certificate of occupancy on it. Do you want to designate somebody from the board, somebody from PrAC? Ultimately, do you want,
know nothing about it.
That's what I'm saying. I know nothing about this.
so we have had some submissions. I just don't want to leave these people hanging, no pun intended.
I thought we had said before that
I just
that
barely
we were looking
got through
for,
art appreciation in college, so.
I thought we said before that we wanted to see pictures of Gateway in the building, historic and
Would be
We did.
nice,
We-
yeah.
and representing what makes it Gateway, whether it's communities or landscaping
Yeah,
or.
that's what we put out in the feelers, and like I said, we've had probably 2 or 3 submissions.
No, I'm not, you're saying all of this is coming through,
From residents that have submitted. Like, we sent it to the Pelican Preserve community. They have a whole group of painting, art,
Photographers.
photographers, everything.
But what's the nature of the paintings?
Anything.
does it have to be a painting or is it mixed media?
Mixed media, yes.
But don't we also have we have to have historical
Oh,
photos
we got some, yeah.
here. I mean, I'd like to be a combination.
Okay. Well, the whole point of this is, do you have somebody you want to designate to review these pictures?
I'd say someone in staff do it.
It's beyond me. That's not my bailiwick at all.
Flavia's not here, let's nominate her.
You guys are you're spending the most
Right
time.
and true about this.
Yeah,
I nominate Flavia to do this.
I second it. We'll teach you.
That'll teach her to miss
She's a
it.
designated art critic, yes.
There you go.
She'll say no art.
Oh, that,
There's a motion
you
and a
snooze, you
second.
lose. There's a motion on it and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You guys did that to Dusk or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was attending the,
Well, I just wants a lot of thinking on this. I don't want it to turn out to go walk inside there and it looks like we're in Oppenheimer or something. I mean, that. I like
pictures
your
can always
idea
be
of
changed out.
I like
Yes.
your idea of pictures of the community. You might have an area to where you have like a modern deal that's limited to one area, but
Yeah.
preferably
No, that-
maybe as you walk in
Yeah,
type thing.
that was the idea. And
Or a
and
mural?
There were some really good ones that were
Or
submitted
the
too.
original site plans.
Yeah, big nude of Tinkle. Golf club.
we don't want to scare people off.
Fig leaf, gotta have a fig leaf.
Moving on.
Okay, Flavia.
Yep, she's
Monthly
it.
reports.
All right, anything for
Anything for
Laura?
me?
Under admin?
Anybody have anything on admin?
At what point, I'm sure we're not there yet, but with the new building, you're going to give us a rundown of what that tech's going to look like and.
I don't have it all in place. I'm about 85%, but we're working on, I bought some stuff to try for mounting hardware for monitors that I'm working through right now. So when I have it a little more not final, but pretty close to done, I'll be able to let you know. We're still working on heights and backs and stuff like that. So we're actively working through it. These are going with us, the microphones.
Yeah.
So that'll all be there. But I did find a very nice monitor mount that'll allow them to tilt. I have to mount it, turn it 90 degrees to get it to do what I want it to do, but it's feasible and they're cheap. So
Reasonably priced.
they're reasonably
personal-
inexpensive.
On a personal deal for us, what do we have in lieu of this so we don't have this again?
This will be lower.
It'll be lower.
So it's going to be like at a
It'll
a
tilt.
hidden view?
Not necessarily
can see
totally
over it.
hidden, but it'll be lower, much lower.
Merged
And
into the-
that way Carol can see
Is
over.
it going to be something that we can see before it's already done?
Yeah, once I have it.
They go like this or
it-
up and down or
It
side
goes
to side?
back, it tilts this way.
So you can basically tilt it at
Yes.
an angle.
That's why I want one to try it, so.
Yeah, it's better than the ones that are inside, because the Cuyahoga County used to,
They're sort of like
yeah,
at
Cuyahoga
a,
County used to have that where it was in,
Yeah.
and you had
Then
to
you
look
lose that
down
counter
to read it. It was
space
annoying.
and,
quite
yeah, so
frankly.
it'll basically be this, but it'll be tilted so you'll be able to look over the
We
top.
met with the company that's literally building the dais, and they too recommended to just do what Laura's got and just do like a simple thing, and we can work on the height.
What is it set in a
No.
angled
It'll
deal?
mount like on the back like it is on here, but you'll be able to tilt it.
But it's,
so.
yeah, this will be lower, so you
And the
can see.
monitors will be this size or smaller, so I'm trying to keep it,
I have a hard
bring
time
that,
seeing
like,
this.
this thing is huge.
Yeah,
want
so,
it
I
like
mean,
this.
The,
They'll all be the
I'd
same
say-
size.
let's think about the dynamics of the display without getting them too much smaller.
No, my goal was to keep the same size as what we have now. That's my
Yeah.
intent, is to keep that, but you'll each have your own.
Obviously.
and
Just
it'll
recessed
tilt.
and angled would be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
would be
Even if you
great.
just angle this, it would
Yeah.
be 3 inches, to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about, and obviously cord management will be part of it too. and-
Cable management was a big part of my stuff, making sure that we're running off
we
more
don't
than
get
one outlet,
electrocuted underneath
things
here.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and all of that stuff
tell you
you
something
won't
after the
see
meeting.
that.
Okay.
Anything else on admin report?
I just want to repeat, I guess. Laura and I had some meetings with different folks, and we are in discussions for sponsorships and putting together a nice packet that we can have these discussions. I'm not promising anybody anything. Obviously, everybody who we've spoke to, I said, hey, I have a board I report to that'll have to come to them for their approval and consent, but just so you understand, kind of the idea is to crunch the numbers on if we were to redo the soccer fields, the P&I cost plus an O&M cost, dividing that by field, and then taking that same concept up to the commons, to the fun park, to the linear park, and then that way, if somebody wants to do the whole complex, they know what they know what it would cost. And terms and things like that, we can talk through that.
Yeah, what you may want to do, Chelsea, also is have the board adopt a policy for donations or sponsorships, so there's criteria that people understand up front. A lot of local governments have those so that there's clarity.
We're drafting it.
Okay.
So I just want to be, I had to get it out of my head, and Randy and Laura have been able to put it and make it look good and numbers and crunch. So, but I think this is going to be a great idea, a great solution to the problem, right? Is subsidization of our assets. And if we can get sponsorships, if it's a 5-year term, if it's a 10-year term, if it's a 1-year term, obviously that'll offset our residents' cost to these things and accomplish a capital improvement.
And remember too, so there's critical dates that are in different cycles. If you're talking about on the rec side, they typically run 2 seasons, right? If you're more on the competitive side or travel side, those seasons run from August to May. Those are almost year round. So if you're trying to attract, let's say, a travel or competitive teams, you have to think the fields need to be ready by August in order for someone to even entertain leasing those fields from an annual perspective. So, and then the other window that opens up is the May through August, which is your summertime period, which a lot of times your competitive programs are shut down for the summer, but they also pick up. There's different tournaments and there's different sub things.
Terry's
So
working on
it.
you have recreation, both youth and adult, and then you have competitive or travel. Most of those are going to be at the youth level. And then you've got, let's call ad hoc summer programs, camps, clinics, that type of stuff.
Terry's working on a 3v3 youth soccer competition, but like I said, I just wanted you all to be aware I was having discussions with potential vendors that are entertaining naming rights.
And I'll see if I can find out of the travel programs when they pin down, because normally a lot of the programs work with the counties. So county will either allocate or they will open up fields for them to rent or lease. I mean, it's funny. You go to North Collier on any given night, there's four to five different leagues and clubs out there.
Well, are any of these other ones that have these fields, are they having naming rights on stuff? Are they doing it?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I mean, JetBlue paid $150, not saying that we're comp to that, but JetBlue paid $150,000 for like 5 or 10 years to have naming rights of that.
Well, Naples
But
High
in different
School,
environments too, because Paradise Coast is private.
no, it's public.
I'm sorry, but it's
Collier County owns it.
Paradise Coast?
Yeah. Yep, that sports complex, $120 million worth of
I thought
entire
it was a
county money.
partner, I thought it was a partnership, private and
They
public.
have a management company, but they built,
Okay, all
the
right.
funds were all county
And North
funds.
Collier is public.
Correct.
Astero's
Big
doing the
Corkscrew
partnership thing
is-
too.
I just wondered what's
Public.
It's
our,
county county. But like, for
What's-
example, Naples High, a lot of the high schools, like,
what's our basis of others doing this, that
Well,
we have a chance?
That's what part of us doing this due diligence is looking to see what others are charging.
What has happened?
Yeah, what's our market that we're fighting?
But that's the thing too, is most of the fields and parks are public. So
you can have it, for example, Naples High School, their football stadium, their field, DeVoe, now Hoffman is sponsoring it. So you can have that. And I guess one of the factors is private enterprise, their fiscal year is typically 1/1 to 12/31.
They do
as opposed to
calendar.
Well,
Yeah.
So they need to do their budgets. They're going to start their budgets in August, September.
I think there's two opportunities here. One is like naming rights, and we're private, so we can do that. And that's a little outside of just sponsorships, right? And the other is, if you are one of these big programs, they want to be able to have a home field. They want to be able to put up banners and their signs and brand it year round because they run their leagues, they run clinics, they run camps. I mean, that becomes an attraction to have a home field with branding and that type of facilities.
Which would be
And people
basis
would
for
pay
more
for
money,
that too. Because you go to North Collier, or actually what happens today, like with one of the clubs my kids plays for, we jockey between 3 and 4 fields. So we go to North Collier, we go to Paradise Coast, we go to Big Corkscrew, and then we go to a field in Bonita. The field in Bonita, I think, is kind of their home field, but you got to store stuff. There's no storage if you're hopping from one,
Sure, there are none.
So people want to be able to put their coaching equipment, put,
Next.
To make it more final.
different things. So literally, it's your home field with, everything that you need. And there is a value to that. And that's what I think we would be trying to, to sell, is
Would
we
that
can
be
give
like
you,
a shed or
it's anything.
a building or something like that?
It could be, shoot, it's even leveraging what we have right now. We've got,
Be a space commitment
it's
though.
space, yeah, it could be
So,
space.
We're wrapping up to the concessionaire agreement. They had some additional items that they wanted to sell in there that are all applicable to like running a league or sports like shin guards and that kind of stuff. So you should start.
Apparel or retail.
Yeah,
type,
so you should start to see him operating in the next, he's biting at the bit to get in there. But that means we're going to be eliminating access to the leagues to that concession stand. So you might hear some grumblings from them. So I'm just letting you know now, because we've given them access to that concession stand for many years, mainly for the ice, more so since I've been here. But he knows their schedule, what they've rented on Facilitron. He is expected to be open during those times. So if they need anything, if they need ice, he's not to charge. That is ours that we give out. So.
But again, I'll go back to what I just said. Most of these teams are traveling from field to field. They do not have access to any storage or any, which again, in the past, I've said, hey, if we're leasing the fields and we told them we have storage,
So it'd be a
then
plus.
they're paying, right. In today's environment, it is in addition and it's a plus. Matter of fact, it's not even available for a lot of locations.
Tony, do we have an alcohol prohibition against us on our property?
No, but we don't have the ability to get an alcohol license except for maybe the problem.
I mean, like if we
A
would.
sale? I'm not aware of
I
it.
didn't bring it up at the park deal, but one of the differences is on the pool is like over at the country club, you have music and you have a bar.
Yeah.
And so you have an attraction there. Ours, we don't have that. So if you had like a food truck and you had alcohol, is it prohibited?
I'm not aware of any problem, subject to whatever the zoning is. You can double check the PUD just to make sure alcohol sales, because there are restrictions on where you can do that relative to parks, facilities, schools, churches. And
Something
but
like that
That's more of a
could-
zoning
could
land
You're
use
talking about
issue.
distribution, right? We don't have the ability to distribute.
But
or
if we have a
sale.
contract with a vendor, I think that's what Ed's
We'd have to
talking
do it
about.
as a vendor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Well,
that.
otherwise we'd have
Love
to
where
have
you're
a
going with that,
license.
Mr. Tinkle.
know, it's really
Love where
funny.
you're
Is it
going
healthy
with
at the
that.
pool next Saturday?
You want to
By the
get
way-
people at the pavilion.
By the way, the odd thing in the
Beer and
beverage,
wine.
the odd thing in the beverage law, municipalities and counties can have liquor licenses and beverage licenses for their facilities.
I think that's
Kind of
an
like
option that we
Eastwood
need to
Golf
look
Course,
at.
but CDDs do not. They're not listed as one of the entities. Figure that one out.
'Cause if we're going to have people at that pickleball, I know even over at the club, you have people running back and forth from the pickleball court clear to the bar.
Well, we've already
Tomorrow
talked about
comes to the
having
pickleball.
We could lease it,
vending
that's right.
machine,
So,
vending machines there.
Something like that, yeah.
so.
Okay.
And you could do it, Ed.
Anything else for administration?
Nope, utilities?
Ask Austin lots of questions.
I'm sorry?
Ask Austin lots of questions.
Nothing for Austin?
I
Great.
got, hang on, I got a list right here.
Stop. Anything for Public Works?
Public Works, how did the meetings, since I'm the next GOAT, Gateway Greens, that is, next Monday
That's
night,
utilities.
how did these meetings been going on the meter placement?
That's Austin.
How many lots? Yeah.
Nope, you just gotta talk. You don't even have to lean into it. It picks up.
Okay.
If it's green, you're good.
Okay. Austin Manoli, Assistant Utilities Manager. Attendance for the town hall meetings we've been having hasn't been the greatest.
It's been what?
Hasn't been the greatest. They really haven't, many people haven't honestly showed up.
I don't think a lot. Magnitude said we're going to do as far as landscaping. That, what did we say, 3 feet?
Well,
I mean, that's-
we're minimizing the impacts, so if we don't have to dig out more, they're not going to. But, yeah, we have up to the 3 feet per the rules.
But we've leveraged the pilot program, so right? We're gonna do the same thing we did in Stony
Yeah.
Brook and others. So we
Yeah.
know,
We've told everybody the same thing.
Our problem with Gateway Greens is that over the years, because of the fact that it's just nothing's been done on it.
yours is more mature.
They're gone. They're just totally covered with landscaping. And they're out of sight, out of mind.
Here's what I would do. I would have someone that is really good in front of the public. Once we go around and we do an assessment, and we mark where the meters are, we make a list of those that are gonna have large areas of vegetation. We send someone and we knock on their door and we'd say, hi, and we'd Gateway District, we're prepping for the meter project. Can I just show you the area that and explain to you the impact that it's gonna have? So, we're doing that, so we're saying, okay, so you do that and that's fantastic.
It's not only that, it's the issue is that the meter may be here right now, but because an oak tree is there, the
gonna
meter
move
may
it.
have to go here or here.
Well,
There's where the problem is.
Those we have skipped and come back to as part of a change order. But yes, the contractor goes out, they note any landscaping issues, Bill does a follow-up, he goes and knocks on these people's address, on their doors and says, hey, and we send out communications, we send out 2 or 3 communications.
I think if we talk to people, it'd be so much better than just doing it or them not reading or whatever and,
Well, the big thing is right now, this project and the discussion at the meeting is for box replacement. We have yet to come 6 months from now, 7 months from now, whatever, we come back in and pull your meter out and put the new meter in. There'll be some downtime, which, I mean, we're not talking about anything significant on
No.
that. But the meter box placement sets the whole deal because that's where the meter is going to go, which means it's the final location, which means if we have to relocate it up or down the property, that could be,
You're just so excited for the town hall on Monday, aren't you?
oh, I'm excited for it.
We're putting your personal cell phone number at the end of it too.
this
good,
this
good.
definitely needs to be an item on our President's Council.
Everybody at Gateway has it.
So it needs to be an item on our next President's Council meeting, whenever that's scheduled, if it is.
April.
And 2, we need to make sure we get an email communication going directly to the presidents,
It does.
keeping them informed on
already
this
got it.
Well,
project.
we've sent the notice out as much as it's for what it's worth, blasted it to everybody. So I'm hoping that we'll get people out there. Now, keep in mind, 40% of our community is master associations. So you're not dealing like with individual homeowners. We've got about 750 individual homeowners that will be impacted by
We've
this.
got this down pat. Gateway Greens is the last community that we're entering other than commercial properties, and so.
It's been a very quiet project.
That's what I was saying is when I told
It's
her. I
almost
said it's-
scary.
That's
I need you to
exactly what
knock
I
on
was.
wood.
It's scary.
And you don't appreciate it till the first time you have to go out and turn your water off.
Right.
And it's easy to pop the lid off and it's easy to turn the
You're
valve and I'm
not in
like,
there.
holy
You
cow.
shouldn't be in that box.
Fire ants
Just
and everything
hypothetically.
else.
I've
Okay.
heard, so I've heard.
Okay,
Anything
so we're
for
looking forward to that.
Public Works? Anything for Public Works?
If you don't pay your bill in the day, it's due, you can't pay it, and they turn it off.
So when are we, all of the test meters and everything have been installed?
Yeah.
And now we're collecting data? For how long until we,
March 19th, we're
So
coming
about a
to
couple
you.
months.
March 19th,
In a
next
month.
month, we're coming to you with our recommendation. Right now, Arcadis is crunching all of the criteria. We did some.
Is it clear?
Could be. Could be. We just sent 5 meters off from each of the pilot locations, each of those vendors for testing, and we just got those results back. So Arcadis is compiling all of this, and we're reviewing everything. And March 17th, we're going to make a presentation to you guys on who we're going to recommend to be the apparent winner.
So soon.
Yes.
Okay. Another month.
I think the only thing I've seen relative to Public Works is where the lakes are getting low, really low.
You know, at one time, the flowway from Gateway to Pelican was absolutely dry in Pelican.
Maybe on your side. Our
Yeah, on
side
our
never
side.
has.
Yeah, it was
We've been
absolutely
low, but not.
mud.
This is getting about as low as it has been.
So every time somebody tells me it's really, really low, I say, well, we're not to the historic low yet.
Good afternoon. For the record, Paul Flores, Public Works Director. Yes, it's a factor of rain. We have not had a whole lot of rain, so that's why our lakes are,
But we have no upstream basin.
that's right.
Nothing.
That's correct.
Anything other than we need rain, but.
It is what it is, Ed.
People are asking about this deal of the
Oh, yeah.
irrigation. I tell them it's once a week. If you're out there watering it every day, you get caught, don't come to me.
It's not us, it's Lee County.
Right.
I know it.
Can I backtrack? Because I don't know if I've heard an update on this, but it probably was a month or 2 months ago, we were talking about the fungus.
We've got a meeting on that next week.
Does anybody have any
grass
updates on
fungus.
The,
grass,
grass fungus.
grass fungus?
the sugarcane mosaic.
Well, there was 3, well, at least.
It was a big deal 18 months ago.
Phil
I haven't heard
Dietz,
much about it.
like I said, there's
huge in
3
our-
different funguses or,
Yes,
or
it's bad.
viruses that's going around. Or there
We're
was.
we're going to have a meeting next week at our board to basically set up what our plan is. We've had a couple of vendors that represent the majority of the people and try to get an idea of what is a common sense approach. We have some that have even gone so far as they're just going to paint their grass green and that's it. And I said, I don't think that's going to happen. The issue is, how many months do they get to fix it? Because if they think it's, or if there's several that have gotten the idea that sugarcane, University of Florida is going to have a cure to it and it's over with. And Florida is telling us via our vendors, it ain't going to happen. It's dead. You got to replace it. And you got to replace it with either Citra Blue or Palmetto. And Citra Blue right now, in my understanding, is very hard to get. So now you're down to Palmetto. We've had a couple people gone out and put in what they were told was Palmetto, and now we're having people saying, it's not what you got. That's what we're worried about, is having owners getting duped. So that's why we're trying to say, hey, if you've got a vendor, you work through your vendors so you don't get burned. Because you're talking $5,000-$10,000.
Yeah, are we communicating out to the presidents? I know there was something on Facebook a while back. I think Randy might have put something out about grass. I could be wrong, but are we letting the President's Council know, and even our residents, that we've identified these grass issues, these funguses, and here's the issue?
I mean, we just share the information that we get from the University of Florida. I mean, we're not the tell-all, be-all.
No, but I'm
of
saying
it.
any opportunity we have to share that information, because again,
Yeah.
in my great community of Stony Brook, it wasn't too long ago, they were issuing fines for dead grass, and I called JT, I'm like, JT, you realize
That's where we're at.
we've got, 3 different fungal infections and stuff, not only in Stony Brook, not only in Gateway, but like this is a bigger issue. So, our residents need to be aware
We're
of
trying to
that.
be reasonable, but the answer of doing nothing is not acceptable. So if people are going to have to do it, how long do we give them to do it?
We can do another update on it.
And another thing is what my guy's telling me is, hey, you need to put some water on. So, I mean, you're trying to fight.
The issue is that both, what do they call it? My own landscaper, Yardmaster, and Greatview, which is doing our work, is that this is not water shortage related. It's not water shortage related.
the fungus.
It's a virus that's going around. So
But you can compact that with with
Well,
limits
if you
on
put- you- well,
water
you
and
compact it
then,
with if you go out and put in new sod and you got a $5,000, $10,000 investment, 1 day a week ain't getting it
You get
to
30
water it
days.
in.
You get 30 days
You
for
get
new
30
sod.
days, yeah.
So we can send out an update on the sugarcane.
Paul, I went out and looked at the sidewalk. I think they did a reasonably good job on it.
It was decent.
Yeah.
I would
Not
give it-
perfect, but better.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, no
what,
problem.
other than, meters right now, what's the top priority in utilities?
He's Public Works.
I mean, Public Works,
Oh, in
sorry.
Public Works, it's lake bank projects right now. We got a few projects in Pelican Preserve, the streetlight projects. We just finished the Arch Bridge. We're wrapping it up pretty soon right now. Other than that, it's just day-to-day maintenance.
I don't understand what they're doing with the streetlights. I mean, what they've done is great. They identified all the old poles. They've installed the new poles. The new poles are lit, and the old poles are still there.
Yes, you'll start seeing.
No,
Same
they're
thing we
taking them
had.
down.
They come
They
back
haven't
yeah,
pulled
they're-
very many out.
They come back
I don't
later.
know, the lights that we have, what do they call them?
LEDs?
No, along
Carriage
the
lights.
walkway,
Carriage lights.
the carriage lights.
Yes.
Here, how long were those new?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I literally just noticed them for the first time the other night, and it is really nice. It's really nice around that corner. Fully staffed, or do you have any staff?
We have one position that's vacant, but we're looking at maybe changing that or some options.
Okay. All right. That's all that I have.
We don't have a Potomac mess.
Thank you.
Virginia and Maryland and Trump.
Anything else?
Tony's turn.
Tony?
Sir, let's see, where are we here? Can you bring it a little larger?
We gotta get that print.
I will.
We
Give me-
get
I gotta
that
make room
print
for it
started.
first.
Yeah, I'll just kind of move on down
Yeah.
to the Daniels Park, like everything else in the first are taken care of. We have, I think that we have revised resubmittal, so I think 319 Chelsea's, we're estimating it to come to the board. And whether or not the temporary irrigation well agreement is needed depends upon whether or not we get the bill of sale from Timberwood Preserve for their utility line. I think, is that a fair statement, Chelsea? Whether or not we do the temporary well agreement, it's dependent upon whether we get the Timberwood Preserve lines. So that might be, that's sort of floating out there. The forest main irrigation main redundancy SRF loan, we've got the loan agreement. It looks good. Working with bond counsel is the supplemental trust indenture. That's coming, I think, on the 19th meeting, I think. Is that it also, I believe, for the board? For the supplemental trust indenture for the $8 million?
Yes, it is coming to the board.
On the, with regards to the gentleman in Pelican Reserve and Prado, revised the EAU, easement use agreement, or to incorporate conditions that the board has suggested, so that's in there. Then in case there's any obstruction, we can immediately remove whatever's there. The Santa Luz, on behalf of the district, Chelsea and I made comments. On behalf of the association, Mr. Cooper made comments, sent them to the attorney for Lennar, and came back with, why did you make these changes that I told you at the beginning you couldn't make? And so we're waiting, that's paraphrasing, is that a fair statement? So we're waiting for their comments back. It's just very frustrating for all of us, quite frankly, as to the approach that Lennar and/or their counsel are taking on that whole Santa Luz issue. It's very frustrating. And Arborwood Phase 3, today received the bill of sale that Chelsea received recently. It has some issues and needs to have a better descriptor of the assets being conveyed. So we'll get with that. And plus, I need the attorney's affidavits and all the other affidavits. Concessionaire agreement, an appendix, I sent that to Randy, and I guess they've sent it on to the concessionaire. That had audit and record-keeping requirements so that the district can keep track of what their transactions are to make sure that we're getting the appropriate gross sales, which then leads to the appropriate percentage coming to the district. PPAC member is pro tem subcommittee member. My initial research, I talked to Carol about this. I didn't find anything about pro tem, but I found about ex officio. Still looking at and exploring that because it still has sunshine law implications. And so I think we'll have a future discussion on that if that's an item that the board still wants to discuss. The easement for Girl Scout lift station, we've already discussed. Storage tank, let me go all the way down. Irrigation line conveyance to the district and Timberwood Preserve, all the documents are prepared. Chelsea's provided that to the association. And we'll just find out what their approach is. shared use agreement with Lee County. We're waiting their revised draft with regards to the shared use agreement. I found the one from 2022 that we sent them, Chelsea sent them and said, hey, we had one previously. Let's use this as the template. Echelon, we talked about that today, and that's finalized. Board policies and procedures manual. Working with Chelsea and Georgia and Laura, I have a draft here. I'm going to hand out a hard copy, but I'll also email electronic copies to everybody. And then what I'll do is after you have read them, I'll just contact you in the next week and see if you've read them and have a sit down, just sit across the table and talk about your thoughts, comments, and or concerns. So I'll hand this out now to everybody. Yes. There should be plenty there for everybody. And again, it's a draft form, and we welcome your input and comments on that. Everything else is pretty much ongoing basis, unless the board has specific questions about any other items.
Tony, is this handout, is this pair up with any rules or chapter rules that we've had in the past?
The idea was to reference them in here, and we also have an appendix, and so the idea is to make them consistent.
So does it make reference to those?
Yes, but there also might be some revisions made also, based upon this, because simple things like the way the order of procedure of the meetings is different than what was in there. So contemporaneous with any consideration of adopting this will be revising some other rules.
Is it just one chapter that it was modifying or amending?
Yes, and then there was a protocol that was adopted subsequent in decorum.
Okay.
But again, this is an attempt to incorporate some of that, but also references them. And there's some reference material in there. So I appreciate your all's patience on this. Again, it was a good exercise, I think, for all of us, quite frankly. And there were some good ideas from the board members as we had some discussions about how to handle some things. So, and that's all.
Questions for Tony? Bob? Bill?
No, I'm good.
Don't have anything.
On a brighter note, U.S. won the hockey game against Canada.
U.S. women?
Yeah, overtime.
Overtime?
Nice.
Who'd they play, Canada?
Canada, yeah, they won 2-1 in overtime.
And the guys are playing too.
They're playing tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Finland
Okay.
or
Latvia, Slovakia.
Czechoslovakia? Or
Slovakia,
whatever.
Yeah, one of the key is. So anyways, as an aside, also, it's really funny. 5 of the women on the team went to a high school from Rochester.
Pretty cool article.
Yeah, it was a pretty neat article. Yeah.
Agenda for future, Chelsea?
Just the next workshop is March, and that's going to be aeration. So we'll present to you what you directed us to do, the trunk line, some time ago, and we'll put together a presentation to show you.
Say that again? I thought whether we could do the trunk line or not was the purpose of the discussion.
You guys voted some time ago for us to put together the numbers on trunk line, if we chose to do trunk line. So we're going to be.
I don't recall that, because I don't think we ought to do the trunk line at all.
All we're doing is all we did is put together the numbers, and then Stephanie's got a case on how we're going to recommend we proceed with putting aeration if you so chose to.
When you guys did that over there, how did you do the specifications on the vendor?
We worked through Tetra Tech, and I don't remember now who the sub.
Was it,
We got engineering.
what's the word I want? Wasn't specific to a company.
No,
It was a performance spec.
Correct.
Okay.
And we had a couple of classes, different people presented what they thought we ought, like, how far are diffusers, how often do you have turnover rates, and should you have more than one aerator in a pond? There was a lot of things.
When we have that meeting, will we have, or has Stephanie and the staff gotten with FPL so we know where our points of connection
Yes,
can
but
be?
it's only for the trunk line one, the trunk line ponds.
But at least with that, we have that information.
And then, but again, if you guys change course or you have a different priority, we would do the same procedure. We'd go back to FPL, we'd identify the locations, we'd make sure that there's available space in those.
Initially, that was a real tough nut to get over.
Yeah, so we finally,
What I'm
we
looking
got,
at.
we got that information a month ago. We'd only been asking for 2 years.
When
so.
we put the first 15 in, we spent more money getting electric than we did buying aeration and installing.
That's not uncommon.
And therefore, when Cypress Grove was developed, we got Lennar to do it. Nichols then.
The other one I was going to ask you, did they hit you with a meter base every time you had a connection? Do you have a meter at every deal?
I can't answer that. I would have answered in the past, yes, but that's no longer true because we found overlap. Sometimes it's an irrigation meter.
See, what I'm worried about
Sometimes
is
it's a
a
lighting
meter-based
meter.
rate. That could be catastrophic price.
So we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to pay for a meter for all of them. So Ed Hedges is more familiar with that. But he would look at each site and then make some kind of a calculation as to who owed what.
Yeah, because the meter minimum will be more expensive than the usage.
Right. And we found that out too, the hard way. We were going down that road till we realized it was a mistake.
So ultimately, you guys,
Well, I look forward to that meeting.
you know how much aeration costs. We don't have
It ain't cheap.
the money in the budget to do it. We could probably do a pilot pond or one or two.
It's a bond anyway.
Yes, and so this kind of would tie into the bigger conversation if we wanted to do another bond series to cover these capital costs.
Did you ever, I thought you guys had done, this was a couple of years ago, had done a crude calculation that it came out somewhere around, all in, $5,000 to $6,000 per acre of water service.
I don't know that I ever saw it on acres. We didn't really look at it that
Saw
way.
that from somebody, and I would say, if that's the case, that's going to be a big number.
Well, it's a big number. But we also looked at the long term of the cost of dredging, and we kind of offset that. Supposedly, you got to dredge every 25 years if you don't keep your pond aerated and
See,
healthy.
that's got me concerned is where we're at on
Yes,
that too.
yes.
Because we've had ponds, 37 years now, and they've not seen the light of day of a dredge.
And we've never, well, we only did one pond that we conscientiously tried to measure the muck on the bottom before we did something.
Now, when you're dredging a pond, are you dredging it, and then what are you doing with the?
What you try to do is return the pond to its volume. Right. To get the volume. that
And
was
also to
really
keep it alive. If you don't aerate,
But what do you do with the mud?
it's got to be
Well,
removed away.
Your first question is what is the muck?
Yeah.
Because if it's got,
Sulfates and,
things you
Bad
don't
stuff.
want in there, you can't get rid of it. You
nobody wants to
pay
take
through
it.
the
Pay it out of
nose to have it treated, especially get into the metals. That's the last thing we need to do, and you don't want to go in blind, put in aeration, stir that mess up, and then have that stuff going out. Then
Ours were
we'll
new
have
enough, Doug, we
South
didn't have a big
Florida all
risk with
over
that.
us.
So-
But you guys will have a
I-
much bigger risk.
Yeah.
I just want to preface that the aeration workshop is like 50,000 foot overview, okay? Because ultimately, you guys haven't given us clear direction as a board. You've said, hey, let's look at the pricing on the trunk lines, so that's what we've done. So you haven't
I remember
said,
Tinkle saying that, not Geppert, but okay. We'll cut that around.
okay,
Him and his trunk lines.
so that's, again, it is very, very preliminary.
I thought Laura was also going to give us some idea of how much money in the existing bond issue might be able to be used for other things.
I thought you did that at the last meeting.
I thought I did too.
You're talking about that original, what, 40, $50 million?
No, no,
No,
no.
no, the
Are you, well, let me ask.
The 30, when it was-
13 million.
55, Are you talking the validation or the original bond series that we borrowed 13 million on?
no, not that.
The master?
big one.
Okay, we can do that.
The big one where you had the Parks and Rec and all
55
this.
mil, yep,
And-
we can do
Right.
that.
When
And
we,
what of it have, I mean, there might be some items that you've decided we're never going to do. So,
We need a recap
yeah.
Okay.
where we're at on that.
when we
Yeah.
talk about aeration, can we just be prepared? You guys might be able to speak. Historically, I hope I don't speak out of turn here, but historically, like in Gateway, we don't have a water quality issue, right? We've had some outbreaks with some algae and some other stuff and things that we can control, but we've never had a water quality issue.
Well, we did 5, 6, 8 years ago when we had the fish kill.
I was gonna say, fish kill
We had the fish
created,
kill.
Right.
I said it.
Yeah,
But
well, that was my
That was
point.
an oxygen issue.
It was oxygen, that was a temperature differential.
Yeah.
How quickly can that turn? So
Overnight.
yeah, so I know that we do a lot of things, and we're talking about aeration, we're talking about all these different things to keep our ponds healthy. I want to be forward-looking to say, we're great, but how do we ensure that we stay great? Because I think the cost to fix water might be even more expensive than it is to maintain it. You know what I mean? And I don't know that's true, but I mean, that's why.
Well, we're kind of getting into the workshop stuff, but that's taking a historical stance, looking at, because again, I have not been here through this, and Stephanie nor any of the current staff. So what we discussed was look at the historics. Where have we had consistently issues? And what are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to achieve an improvement of 1 TSI, 2 TSI, 10 TSI, and then quantifying that? So we're going to present all of this at the workshop.
Okay, that sounds.
It's an expensive proposition. I want to make sure that if we do it, we do it
Anything
with our
else?
eyes wide open.
So that's next workshop.
Yep,
Okay. Anything else?
I hope not.
Board member comments? Bob?
Nothing.
Doug?
No, I'm good.
Carol? Me either.
Okay. Thank
Move
you.
to adjourn.
Quick one,
Thank you.
Flavia's not here.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
I was looking for.